Well, it's a big show. It's a big show tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we've officially made it out of the off season. We're officially in the shenanigans and the nitty gritty and the meat and potatoes and all the shenanigans, the odds and ends, if you will. We are into the thick of it. No backyardigans. Y'all, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Welcome back to Nets Republic. I'm your host, Sever the Bond. Today, we are talking about Media Day. Now, I hope you had time to either watch during the hours that the stuff was being presented, or you had time to go onto YouTube and check out all the individual interviews. I will be basically covering three different perspectives of Media Day, because basically the main bit of everything that's going on is recapping a timeline, but it's from three main perspectives. We're going to cover it through Kyrie's perspective, Ben Simmons' perspective, and Kevin Durant's perspective. We will not be covering the perspective of Joe Harris or Claxton or Steve Nash or Sean Marks or anything like that, because let's keep it a bean, we don't care. So we are going to cover basically this one timeline and this one line of questioning from three different perspectives. Today we're going to be doing Kevin Durant because I feel like there's the most substance there. So let's dive into the shenanigans. This is Kevin Durant's Media Day responses. Now, judging by how he's been tweeting at people, I might get Nets Republic in some trouble for the things that I'm about to say. So let me say first off that these are the views of Sever the Bond and not specifically Nets Republic, because I'm sure everyone loves him but me. So let's just preference this whole video with that. Kevin Durant basically is admitting 1,000% that he does not want to be on the team. Now, I know what he said specifically was he was acknowledging the fact that he did want to trade because of all the shenanigans and the tomfoolery that was going on, taking himself out of it, of course, because accountability, why do that? But that's not here or there. And he is admitting and saying that, yes, I did request a trade. Yes, I was trying to get on up out of here, but he gave us some very interesting reasonings for it. He did indeed blame all the turmoil that went on last year, be it Kyrie's which he didn't say Kyrie's vaccination. He clouded it in the drama, right? He clouded it in the distractions and all the things that went wrong. And he felt as if with all the trials and tribulations that the team went through, almost trying to relate to us as to say, if you went through the same season, wouldn't you try to leave too? He said that he didn't really trust the direction of the Nets. He said basically, loosely, I'm quoting him, that he wasn't sure that everything was on the up and up, and he wasn't sure he could trust the Nets with being able to deliver what was promised to him. Now, I think it's funny that when a certain individual says the same thing, we call him a bum and we're not able to acknowledge him any longer. We blacklist him. But when Kevin Durant says the exact same thing but isn't granted a trade, I'm not allowed to speak ill of him. And I just don't understand it. If the bum doesn't want to be here, then my guy, let him go. And to have the moment to flex upon your own ego and say, well, I understand you can't just trade me because I'm so great, I'm untradeable. Like, okay, cool. However it is you want to take that. But what I am taking from it as a fan is exactly what the reporters were saying. What stops you from being in the exact same situation next year? Next summer, how do we know you're not just going to demand a trade again? This man said, Kevin Durant said, that he was having these thoughts of he didn't want to be here all throughout the season. And he said he wanted to be professional and just not do anything until the season was over. So you knew. And we had speculated on it, but him and Kyrie want to act like the media don't know what they're talking about. But 9 times out of 10, they be spot on with the rumors if we're keeping it at that way. Now, I'm not talking about Twitter. I'm talking about like actual analysts and stuff like that. And actual analysts were watching the performance that he put on in the playoffs and said, I don't think Kevin Durant cares right now. I think they're mailing it in and they're not trying. So when Kevin Durant basically confirms it and says, yes, I was thinking about I wanted to get traded halfway through the season. I just wanted to be professional and see if we could right the ship, but things clearly went left and there was no way to solve it. My guy, that's what we've been saying. So don't condemn us for speculating upon you not putting on a real performance. It looked like you weren't trying, bro. When we got swept, it looked like you weren't trying. That is no secret, but thanks for admitting it. Welcome to reality. This is where we've all been living in. And I'm telling y'all right now, as much as we can joke and meme and be positive, this season's not going to go that well. Okay, let's keep it a thowie. Everyone's talking about championships. My guy, where are they coming from exactly? With what chemistry are we going to win a championship this year? And I'm keeping it realistic. The last couple years, I've been very optimistic. But going into this year, which basically our core and our nucleus is completely different. We don't have Bruce Brown anymore. Like I'm talking about, this is a completely different orchestration of individuals trying to piece themselves together. We went into last year with Harden, Kyrie, and Kevin Durant and a band of merry men that was basically the same. And we said, we just need to be healthy. With that type of lineup, of course, everyone is already blowing the trumpets. We winning this championship. You feel me? But going into this year, we're going in with a big three that hasn't even played together yet. And it's not like we got Ben Simmons in free agency this summer. We acquired that bum in the Harden trade. This man hasn't even played yet. And we're sitting here putting all this stock into an... Sorry, I'm getting on personal tangents. Let me get back over to what Kevin Durant said. Kevin Durant continued to say that the reason why he asked for a trade is basically this isn't what he signed up for. When he signed on for the extension, he was under the impression that it was going to be that original big three going forward. That's James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant. That is what he re-signed for. That is what he literally signed up for. And when it wasn't delivered because shenanigans, he felt some type of way and he felt like things were a little shaky and he couldn't trust people. Now, did he address the fact that he said that he didn't want Steve Nash and he didn't want Sean Marks to be there anymore and you have to decide between the two? No, not really. Not really. He did not. He just kind of brushed over it and said, he basically said, I said what I said and brushed over it. And we're just supposed to be like, okay, Kevin, thanks. Hit another three for us. To me, it's giving he doesn't want to be here. Really, it's giving consolation prize. He wanted to go somewhere else. It wasn't possible, so he's like, I guess I'll stay. And that's the vibe he gave every single reporter. There was not one time where he opened his mouth and said something, and I was assured as a fan that he's 100% invested in us winning. It sounds to me like he's more interested in just hooping and having fun. And that's great! If you want to have fun, if you want to just chillax, by all means, you could have did that in South Beach. You could have did that in Arizona. But you're with the Nets. This is so much more than you're just going to go out there and hoop and have some fun. They asked that man, are you disappointed that you had to come back to Brooklyn? This man said no, I am not disappointed that I had to come back to the Brooklyn Nets. He said, no, I'm not disappointed because I'm focusing on the fact that my job is to play basketball. You're supposed to be assuring us that you're here for the long haul. And there was no such. This man didn't want to be with us. This man gave up on us halfway through the season. This man admitted to not trying in the first round. And we're supposed to love him? Dog, on what planet? And I just don't know where y'all get this optimism from. How are we looking at the same newscast and said, yep, he wants to be here with us? No, he's stuck with us. This is as good as it's going to get because Sean Marks and them wouldn't trade him. Not weren't able to. They would not trade him. He's stuck here with us. And he's got to make the best of a bad situation. He can say I'm bought in. I didn't even get to the most egregious part yet. I'm too busy being upset. This This man said that one of the reasons why he gave up halfway through the season is because he felt like others didn't want to win as much as he did. Hey! You feel like other people don't want to win as bad as you want to win. He spouted a specific example as to when Bruce Brown did a kickflip ollie into his knee and hyperextended it, and he was out for that period of time. He referenced, which I completely forgot, he referenced that period of time where it was just Harden and occasionally Kyrie Irving, and we proceeded to lose 10 games in a row. And he said that he didn't feel like that because he was taken out of the equation that the team should have free fall the way it did. I'm not saying he's responsible for Kyrie. He acknowledged that he's not responsible for Kyrie. I don't think he's responsible for Kyrie. But my guy, if you have an issue with people not being all the way bought in, talk to your friend. Is it a valid point that the team should not have imploded the way it did? Yes, 1000%, and we're all in agreement with you, bro. But to say that's your reason why you want to leave? Isn't that what Harden said? Why is it different when it's Kevin Durant? Why don't we keep the same energy? That is exactly what that man said. But when it's Kevin Durant, it's fine. We love him. It's all. I don't get it. And the nerve of him to say that with his whole chest. That is one of the reasons why he wanted to leave. Because he felt like if he wasn't on the court, they weren't winning games. Kevin, you are the best player on the team. If you want to be able to be injured and have the team continue to be successful without you, then you shouldn't have traded for Harden in the first place. And is that Kevin Durant's fault? No, it is not. It is not his fault. I will give him that. And he did throw out there that people seem to think he's like the Phantom GM. No, Kevin, let me tell you something. Nobody thinks you're a leader. I promise you. You have made it clear through your actions that you are not a leader. And that's not a shot. That's not a shot. That's what man said. That's what man said. So that's not even a shot. But what I'm trying to get at is there has to be some form of an understanding here, right? If you get taken out because your kneecap twisted in two or whatever happened, like I'm really sorry that happened to you, bro, and that's messed up. But you being the best player on the team and being okay with the situation that you're in, like he was perfectly fine with all the moves that were made when we fleeced our entire team to get Harden, because the depth you're talking about, when you get hurt and the team is able to continue on, you traded that away. And I know it wasn't him, but you stood idly by and said you're perfectly fine with this to get Harden. So the depth was gone. Not to mention Kyrie wasn't even there, so it was just Harden by himself with a bunch of bums. Harden was out there with James Johnson. You feel me? He was out there with bums. To say that that is the reason why you want to leave. You want to abandon us. You want to give up on us. And we're just supposed to sit there and say, yup, that's fine. Well, why isn't it okay when James does it? I don't understand it. I don't understand how he can literally tell us, I don't want to be here. I tried to get out. I wasn't able to. I guess we'll make the most of this. And we're supposed to be positive about that. This is such a train wreck of an organization. It's ridiculous. And you look at poor Sean Marks, and you look at, I can't believe I'm saying this, but poor Steve Nash get up there and try to tell their side of the story while people are just lambasting them over and over and over again saying, yo, KD don't like you. Yo, KD don't like you. Yo, KD don't like you. I mean, like, take some accountability. And we'll talk about this with Kyrie tomorrow. Take some accountability for your actions. Things are awkward because you requested a trade. Things are awkward because you put the ultimatum out. Things are awkward because you didn't step up in the playoffs. Things are awkward because you got clamped up, because you didn't care, because you gave up. Remember the remarks we were hearing from Mike James, from Kevin Durant saying, bruh, we finna get swept. This ain't gonna go too well. And we all said, nah, Kevin wouldn't say that. Nah, Kevin wouldn't say that. If he did, someone's snitching. Someone's gotta be snitching. I guess it was the snitching because it's all been confirmed. Mans knew he was finna get swept because he wasn't even gonna try. Because he already knew in the back of his mind, yo, I'm taking the first ticket out of Brooklyn. But because the trade didn't go through and he's stuck here with us, he didn't choose to come back. He's stuck with us. Tried to leave, wouldn't let him. We are supposed to welcome him back with open arms and say, come on, Kevin, come on, Kevin. No! I don't welcome him back. I do not. That man tried to leave. That man tried to abandon us. It would have just been us, Ben Simmons, and Kyrie. That man tried to leave. He tried to skip town. And all of you are just welcoming him back like he didn't try to abandon us. He doesn't want to be here. He's stuck with us. And not one apology to the fans. In fact, we got a backhanded remark from that man. Basically saying, Mr. Jared Greenberg asked that man, hey, yo, Mr. Kevin Durant, with all the shenanigans going on here, how do you respond to Nets fans that might be a little bit skeptical? That might be a little skeptical. This man, Kevin Durant, said, if they're going to be skeptical, let them be skeptical. There's nothing I can do about it. He said, I'm Kevin Durant. If you don't think I can go out there and make the buckets, then you must not know who I am. I'm Kevin Durant. Kevin, come here, buddy, come here. There is no one on this planet that thinks that you're bad at basketball, okay? Nobody here thinks that. And I'm going to tell Kyrie the same thing tomorrow. Y'all are missing the point so hard. Nobody thinks you suck at basketball. We think you have a commitment issue. And what we're doing is we're reading the room. We're taking your responses and processing them internally. You can call the media pawns. You can say we make things up. You can say whatever you want. But we are going off of what you are saying. I mean, he could have spun this in so many different ways to at least try to make it seem better. But to basically sit up there on the podium and with every question you got your arms crossed saying, I said what I said, move on. Buddy, you tried to get the coach and the general manager fired if you didn't get sent somewhere else. And we're supposed to welcome you back. He's a bum. I don't know who needs to hear it, but he's a bum. Is Kevin Durant good at basketball? Yes. Am I happy he's on the team because he's good at basketball? Yes. Do I think we have a chance of possibly being a good team? Yes. Do I think we have a chance of winning a championship? Absolutely not. But hey, we get to watch some good basketball, and if the team stays together for longer than a year, if the core of the team stays together for longer than a year, then maybe, just maybe, we'll have a chance of getting past the second round. But let's not act like the team we just had didn't have to go through the play-in tournament to make it into the... There's such a lack of awareness from these players and this organization. It's starting to really, really bother me. And I'm heated like this off Kevin Durant. I cannot make a separate Sean Marks, Steve Nash video because I can't make a clean version of that. I can't make my thoughts family friendly. That man Sean Marks quoted Steve Nash as saying that, well, you know, it's just like Steve Nash says, you know, teams win. Teams win? That's the philosophical thoughts from our head coach. Teams win. That was a big takeaway for you, Sean Marks. Teams win. I have these jerseys here for a very specific reason. Because they symbolize the 2 times we couldn't win a championship and they messed it up. Jared Allen, Karis LeVert, Spencer Dinwiddie, whole crew, Kyrie, Kevin Durant would have been fine. Even with DeAndre Jordan, they would have been fine. They would have got it together eventually, and they would have won a championship. I promise you that. Big 3, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant. When they play, we don't lose. Ask Chicago. Ask Boston. We don't lose when they play. But no. No. Just blow it up. Well, let's hope the Ben 10 experience works. That's Kevin Durant's perspective of the main storyline that was last year's Brooklyn Nets. I'll see y'all tomorrow to talk about Kyrie Irving's point of view, because each of these videos are just a different person's point of view of the same timeline. Tomorrow it's Kyrie's. See you then.